What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the report. Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Heat loss to the Boston Celtics. We're going to be dissecting that game and also talking about the next game against the Utah Jazz. Very tough loss today in Miami. We're going to be recapping that and also giving the preview for the Jazz game on Saturday as well. So make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Very close to 1,600 subs. Let's get there as soon as possible. You guys know what to do. So yeah, as you guys probably all know, if you guys have not been living under a rock, the Miami Heat have just lost to the Boston Celtics 95-78. Very rough game to watch as a Heat fan. I'm sure if you're a Celtics fan, you love this game, but as a Heat fan, it was a very tough game to watch. And I don't think we necessarily started that badly. Shooting wise, yeah, we could have been a lot better as far as shooting the ball goes. We were missing a lot of shots from the tip itself. I think we started off 0 for 7, 0 for 8. So it was pretty tough to adjust from there. And the poor shooting kind of just continued throughout the game. We did make a run in the third quarter to cut it down to about 9 or 7 or something like that. But the Celtics kind of just poured it on at the end. There are some things I want to talk about. A lot of talking points on Heat Twitter. A lot of people are talking about, some players. I do want to talk about a lot of different things in this game, though. Let's start off with the defense, because I think that's the least of our problems right now. That's one of the positives, that we held the Celtics to under 100 points. 95 points is a very good defensive number to hold a team to, and we did that. Jason Tatum only had 10 points. Jaylen Brown only had 17. It wasn't really one player who killed us. It was really a lot of people who scored in double figures for them, but they still didn't really get off to a hot shooting start or hot shooting night at all. They only shot about 39% from the field. They did shoot 39% from three, which is pretty good, but I do think we made them work for a lot of their offensive, possessions, and I think offense was the main issue today. As far as defense, the only thing that I would suggest is a lot of the times that we defend, that we defended against the Celtics today, it was either we did not, rebound after we got it. We got a stop. Robert Williams was a presence on the glass. He had 10 rebounds. He was the only rebounder in double digits. He out-rebounded Bam. This was probably one of Bam's worst games in a Heat uniform. I don't really care what the box score says. He had 13 and 7 and 4. But this game was really bad for him. Number two is that, like I said in the preview, the game plan should have been to make Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown take as many shots as possible, because when you let the others get involved, when you let Romeo Langford have 12 points, when you let Aaron Nesmith have 13 points, Dennis Schroeder have 14 points, their bench kind of just killed us. I think their bench points, was a huge advantage as to why they won this game. The Heat's bench points were non-existent. Tyler Hero only had 6, and apart from that, no one really stepped up. And that's why I think Tyler Hero is so important to this team, is because if he doesn't really step up, if he doesn't have a good shooting night off the bench, then there's not really anyone else to pick up the slack off the bench either, because no one else is really a prolific scorer. Like Markieff Morris is kind of like a stretch 4, mid-range stretch 4 kind of. Dwayne Dedmon is a big guy who's just rolling. Caleb Martin, he's just an energy player. He's not like a scorer. We don't have a bucket getter off the bench besides Tyler. So if Tyler's not really going, off or doing his thing, the bench scoring is going to be lacking. We did get out-rebounded by 46-45, which is not too big of a deal, but this is the first time, I'm pretty sure, all season we've gotten out-rebounded by an opponent. I think the main struggles did come on offense, though. I do think the main struggles came on offense. A lot of the times, people were blaming Duncan Robinson for this loss, which I can understand. He shot a terrible percentage from the three-point line. But Duncan Robinson was our second leading scorer tonight. I don't think he is the crux of the problem. A lot of his shots were good looks. And this is what I have to say about Duncan, man. You guys have to understand that as a shooter, you're going to go through slumps. I keep saying this. And, it doesn't really matter, if you go through these slumps, it's how you come out of them. And I think Duncan Robinson has shown in the past, he went through the same stretch last year where, in the early part of the season, he was shooting terribly from three, and then, he picked it up later in the season. And I do think that Duncan Robinson is still one of the best shooters in the NBA. He hasn't forgotten how to shoot a basketball. He's just going through a slump right now. And it's just inevitable for any shooter, unless you're Stephen Curry, who even Stephen Curry has had, slumps in the finals or whatnot. You're going to go through slumps, and Duncan Robinson's going through a slump now. But what I don't want him to do is stop shooting the ball, because he's still a threat from out there, whether he's making them or missing them. So I think he did his job tonight. I don't think he can be blamed. Obviously, he missed shots, but those were very makeable shots that we've all seen Duncan Robinson make in the past. Like, I don't really know who else you guys want taking those shots. No one else wants to shoot the ball. So Duncan Robinson, get as many open threes up as you want, because Bam is scared to shoot the ball. I don't know what happened to Bam this game, but a lot of times Bam was going to work and he was passing out of shots. He was, forcing assists that didn't need to be forced. I think the only players who were really aggressive were Duncan with shots, putting up shots, and Jimmy Butler at times getting to the free throw line. Kyle Lowry, I love what he's done to this team, but when we're paying you $30 million per year, you can't only, be bringing playmaking and pace. Because if that were the case, we would just bring a guy who can just play make and defend. We would have just brought in Lonzo Ball or Ricky Rubio or someone like that. Kyle Lowry is a very good scorer. He hit 2 big threes, but he has the ability to finish in the paint. He passed up a lot of good looks. This is something that we've seen from this team. Jimmy Butler has done this in the past. Bam has done this in the past. Now Lowry has done this now. A lot of times when shots are not falling, you need your stars to take the onus and take the pressure and say, you know what, I don't really care what's going on right now. We're down by 15, 20. I'm getting us a basket. And that's what a lot of superstars do. And that's what you need the Heat team to do. A lot of times we did fall in love with the 3-point shot. We did get some good looks, but the reason we got, closer and we cut the lead of the Celtics is because we were able to drive the ball to the rim. And we stopped doing that for some reason. After, Romeo Langford hit that 3 to, send it back 10, and Dennis Schroeder had that layup, and Al Horford had that dunk. It was kind of just settling for threes again. Why are we settling when we're down double digits? It doesn't make any sense to me. We've seen the recipe work. When we drive to the rim, good things happens. But for some reason, the Heat just stopped, driving the ball to the rim, and they were just settling for a lot of threes. And it was people not shooting the ball at times. It was people overpassing. The passing was atrocious. The turnovers were atrocious. 18 turnovers is not a good number. I just think it comes down to people who need to be aggressive, man. If PJ Tucker is not making shots in the corner, then maybe we should try something else, because this is how the Houston Rockets failed in 2017, when they were up 3-2, Chris Paul gets hurt, and in Game 7 they have a very good chance to win, and it was actually a very close game, but they missed 27 straight threes, and that's why they lost that game, because you cannot miss that many threes and expect to win the game. You need to have a plan B. At times you saw Jimmy Butler try to draw a foul going to the rim, but he should have done it more often. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Butler's first foul shot came in the 3rd quarter, maybe late 2nd quarter, which is really uncharacteristic, because I'm pretty sure he's leading the league in free throw attempts right now. And I'm not really mad at Robinson, man. He's the only guy who's willing to take shots right now, and eventually they're going to go in, because those are really good looks for him. So I don't think he's the scapegoat. I think a lot of people who aren't taking shots need to start taking shots. Bam has to start taking shots. There's no one on the Celtics that can guard Bam. I'm sorry, Robert Williams, as good of a defender that he is, I don't think anyone on the Celtics can guard Bam. Robert Williams is too small. Grant Williams is too small. Al Horford is too slow. Well, until we saw that dunk, I didn't know Al Horford still had that in him. But we all know Bam can dominate against the Celtics. We saw what he did against them in the playoffs. He was the leading scorer. He had a 32-point triple-double in Game 6, I'm pretty sure, in the playoffs. He can dominate this team if he wants to. So he has to take some more shots. This was a terrible game from him. Hero, a lot of shots that we've seen Hero make in the past, he's just missing. I'm not too worried about that. That's just another shooting slump. He'll get through it. See, I'm not worried about people missing shots. This is my theme here. I'm just worried if people are, if people are not taking shots. That's my only concern, because, we pay you guys to shoot the ball, so shoot the ball. Duncan Robinson, keep shooting. You're gonna make them eventually. Tyler Hero, keep shooting. You've been on fire this season, and that's what the message has to be to the stars. Kyle Lowry has to shoot the ball whenever he's open. Bam Adebayo has to shoot the ball whenever he's open. Jimmy Butler has to shoot the ball whenever he's open. All that other stuff, when we're passing, the amount of times on a fast break this game when we had a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 and it turned into a half-court set because we were trying to overpass, or no one was trying to shoot the ball, and then it resulted in a turnover or a brick. Like, that has to stop. And I'm just a little bit hard on this team right now. I know we're 6-2, but the offense has to pick up, because this half court offense has been something that has been a worry at times for this team, because we all know how good Kyle Lowry is in transition. He's really good at pushing the pace, but as far as half court offense is concerned, we haven't really seen much of it this season. A lot of the reasons why we have won this game is because of our defense and because of our transition baskets. We have to pick up the half court offense, and it all starts with being aggressive. The opening possession of the game, I noticed this. Jimmy Butler had the ball in his hands. We won the tip. He had the ball in his hands, and he was just standing, waiting for people to move and cut. We had wasted about 14 seconds off the shot clock. I'm pretty sure it went to 10 seconds, 9 seconds, and that's when we started attacking. And then I'm pretty sure it resulted in a contested 2 for Jimmy. That's not a good recipe to winning. You need to have players be aggressive, players take the onus. Whenever the Celtics had a mismatch, they took it. It was almost like our guards were invisible. The amount of times Dennis Schroeder drove to the rim and there was no help, nothing. The amount of times Romeo Langford had an open 3, the Celtics took advantage of that. And we have to also take advantage of that. I know we love unselfish basketball, but when we're down by 15, 20, you have to be selfish at times, because that's why you're paid the big bucks. If you're Jimmy Butler, if you're Kyle Lowry, if you're Bam Adebayo, we're paying you guys max deals for a reason. Shoot the ball, please. And that's all I have to say, because I don't think this is something to panic about, because this team is still really, really good. And the fact that we held Celtics to 95 points, Jason Tatum, who's one of the top 15, top 10 players in this league, to 10 points, says a lot about this team. But it also says a lot on the flip side that we held Jason Tatum to 10 points and still lost by almost 20. So that should tell you about the offensive struggles of this team at times. So hopefully we figured it out, man. I think this is something that needed to happen. We needed to get humbled because we were on a great roll, and it's good that it happened sooner than later. We play the Jazz on Saturday. It's going to be a really tough game. The Jazz had a great win tonight against the Hawks without Donovan Mitchell. I don't know what the status on Donovan Mitchell's injury is. He was just a late scratch, but I'm pretty sure he'll play on Saturday. It's going to be a tough game. The Jazz always give us a good go. They're a very, very scrappy team. And we're gonna have to, be on our A game, because I'm pretty sure they're 7-1 right now, if I'm not mistaken. So, they're the number 1 seed in the West with a 7-1 record, and they're the best team in the league as far as record is concerned. So, it's gonna be a tough game. We got to make sure that we take care of business. Against the Jazz, it's all about they're very, very good. Off the bench with Jordan Clarkson and Joe Ingles and people like that. But Donovan Mitchell is a killer. We all know about him. But we cannot get guys like Joe Ingles, Bogdanovich, Jordan Clarkson going. Rudy Gobert is going to be a presence on the glass. Bam's going to have to box out. He was not good on the boards today. Robert Williams did his thing on the boards against him. Bam always likes to go at Rudy. I want to see him go at Rudy. I know Rudy's Defensive Player of the Year, but Bam at times has shown that he can take him to the mid-range area and stretch him out a little bit, because Rudy's very effective in the paint, but when he gets switched onto, we all know that he's not the same player he is when he's defending the rim. So, hopefully we can capitalize on that, man. I think that this is going to be a huge game. The Jazz are a very good team, as I said. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So, let me know what your thoughts are about this team, man. Do you think it's time to panic about the Heat? Do you think Duncan Robinson, it's time to panic about him? Any other player on this team? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and your thoughts on this game in general. For my MVP of this game, I'm probably just going to give it to Jimmy Butler, because he led us in scoring, and he was probably our best player today. He drew fouls when he needed to, and it was kind of like picking from a bad bunch. So Jimmy Butler is the MVP of this game. Let me know what your thoughts are about that in the comment section below. I'll see you guys later. As always, have a nice day. Peace.